Hey guys, so from Stretch Kinetics here, and I'm going to take you through a quick 5-minute cool down after your run. So some of these stretches are really important for that lower leg, for those hips, so that we can really find that release and that stretch, giving those muscles that little bit of rest and love after we've worked them really hard after that run. So the first ones that we're going to go to are our calf stretches. So for your calf stretch, you just want to I'm going to step my left foot forwards and right foot back, but you can start with either leg. And I'm just going to bring my hands to my hips, just squaring my hips off towards the top of my mat. Now from here, I'm going to let my right heel drop down and find that little bend into my left knee. So my right heel's pushing down into the floor. I'm getting that nice stretch through that calf while I'm kind of leaning the weight of my body forwards into that front supporting leg. So I'm just going to push up and out of that left supporting leg, let that right leg lift. So I'm just kind of letting the heel float off the floor. And then to find that calf stretch again, I'm going to bend into that front knee, really push that right heel down into the floor. Now again, if you want to make this a little bit more, a little bit stronger in that stretch, you can kind of shuffle that front foot forward or your back foot a little bit further back, really trying to flatten the foot out and allowing that nice big bend. The flatter that foot is and the further that foot is back behind you, while you're trying to tip that weight of the body forwards, the deeper that stretch is going to be into that calf. So we'll find that lift up. You can repeat through those ones kind of 2 to 3 times until you're feeling like you've got a good stretch out there, and then just switch it to the other side. So my right foot's forwards this time, left foot's taking a nice big step back. And we're going to find that push of that left heel down into the floor. So you can kind of see I don't have a lot of weight into my front leg just yet. And then I'm going to start to bend into that front knee. So I'm allowing the weight to shift forwards while I'm still pushing that heel down into the floor. So that's feeling like a nice, big, strong stretch through the calf. Again, you don't want to take it really hard, really fast here. Just ease your way into it. You can always do this a couple of times. And then you're going to find that gentle lift of that heel up. And then we're going to find that push down again. So you're going to find that nice big push down. Again, I'm keeping a nice long spine as I'm hinging that chest forwards and just finding that nice big calf stretch. We'll just go one more like this. Again, if you need to kind of rejig, you can always step the feet closer in together to ease up or step them further apart to make it a little bit harder. And thinking about pushing that heel down nice and heavy into your mat to make it that bit harder as well. When you feel like you've got that good stretch out, you've kind of done that 2 to 3 times with about 10 to 15 seconds in each one. We're going to find that lift all the way up, give those legs a little pedal out. Next one is for those quads. So quads are your big muscles on the front of your leg there. So you can either hold a wall, or if you've got good balance, you can just hold yourself up here. So I'll start to the front. I'm going to take my right foot into my right hand. You probably know this one, it's a pretty common one. And say if you don't have anything to balance on there, just find a little point at the floor that you can focus on to keep your balance. And then you're going to pull into that right foot, drawing the heel closer in towards your glute. All the while, I want you to think about squeezing the glutes and trying to push the hips forwards as well. So you're getting that nice big stretch along that front anterior portion of that upper leg there. Now I'm going to turn to the side so you guys can see this again as well. So you're finding that nice big draw of the heel back, grow tall, squeeze the glutes, pushing of those hips forward. So again, you can take it like we did with the calf with a bit of stretch and release. So you can kind of let it go, let that knee draw forwards, and then grow up tall again, pull the knee back, finding that nice big stretch through those quads. So we'll just do that once more, finding that inhale, letting it release, and exhale, find that big draw back. Again, you can hold this for as long as you like. That kind of 15 to 30 seconds is a good one here to keep that nice long length through those quads. And then we're just going to switch it over. We're going to do our other side. So give the legs a little shake out in between. You're going to pop that left foot into your left hand. Now again, finding that point that you can balance here. And then we're just going to find that draw of your heel in towards your glute. And then that push of your glutes forward, growing that spine really nice and tall. Good. Again, I'm just going to turn to the side so you guys can see this one here. Finding that grow tall, I'm drawing that heel back in towards the glute and pushing those hips forwards while I grow tall through that spine. And then I'm going to let it release. We'll take it once more. Finding that exhale, find that pull, squeeze at the glutes and drive forwards. Then we're going to let it go, give those legs a little bit of a shake out there. For our next one, we're going to be bringing it down into a high kneeling position for our runner's lunge. So for the runner's lunge, again, I'm going to start with my right foot. I'm going to take a nice big step forwards. Now you can either do this staying upright, or I'll show you a version if you've got that flexibility to come down a little bit further again. So I'm going to find a position that I'm going to kind of creep that front foot forwards and then allow my hips to sink down here. Now this is the version that I'm keeping my upper body upright, so I'm really allowing the hips to sink here. And where you should feel this stretch is not into that supporting leg, but it's into that big bent knee behind you. So you should feel that nice big stretch across the front of that hip joint as you start to allow those hips to sink down towards the floor. If you want to take this a little bit further again, you can just kind of frame your leg with those hands and allow those hips to drop in a little bit lower. Again, thinking about creating that really nice long spine. You're lifted, we're not kind of just rounding here. If we round through the thoracic spine, we tend to tuck the tailbone as well. And I want you to think of reaching that tailbone back, or those sit bones back, and creating that really nice long spine position here. Just holding here, just for 3, last 2, and 1. We're going to find a little push back and just switching it over either side, stepping that left foot forwards this time. Again, you want to have that little creep of the foot forwards, sinking into those hips, and we're just going to bring those hands down to frame that foot. Again, you can start with that upright position if you want to stay more upright and hold it there. Again, we're kind of aiming this towards that front of your right hip, allowing those hips to sink down while you stay really nice and tall through that spine, like the heart shining forwards. And then if you want to take it further, we can bring those hands down, just allowing that further sink. Again, I'm trying to keep my spine a little bit long here so that I'm not tucking and rounding. I'm keeping everything nice and lengthened. And just holding here for 4, for 3, last 2, and 1. Last one that we're going to do here is just sending both of those feet back. We're going to find our downward dog into a pedal out here. So tucking those toes, lifting those knees up, and just starting to find that pedal out, 1 foot at a time. You're just driving down towards the floor, feeling that nice big stretch through those hamstrings, through those calves, all the way up the back chain of that body. Just finding that pedal for 3. In 2, we're just going to walk those feet towards the hands. Last one like this. Let's find a little pedal in here. You're going to let the body hang, feet hip width apart, knees are unlocked. And if it feels nice, you can either just let the hands just hold onto the mat, or you can hug your elbows, just letting your body hang like a rag doll. Maybe a little sway from side to side. A little nod of the chin, yes, and a shake, no. And when you're ready, big bend in those knees, let those arms extend. Slowly start to restack that spine, knees on the ankles, pelvis on the knees, ribs on the hips, shoulders on top, head last thing to come up. Give those shoulders a couple of big rolls back. And that was a nice, quick post-run stretch that you can add in after your runs.